Good morning, Nelson County family. Welcome to episode 14 of the Community Brew Live. Apologies for the delay. We just worked out with Kate from OKH, and so things are a little crazy here behind the scenes in Grand Central Station. So I'm not going to waste your time. Definitely say hello over in the chat. Let us know you're here. We have an incredible panel of parents this morning, so I don't want to waste any more time. So, Chase, I'm going to toss it over to you, sir.
Thank you. So we on Monday, if you guys remember when we did the brew, we threw out some um, ideas for who we wanted to be a part of this, and what are some, as we think about the next few weeks, what might that look like? And one of the things that come up a few times was this idea of parents and really being able to get their perspective on this whole NTI process and some things that they're learning. So we'll start. I want to take some time for them to just be able to introduce themselves and kind of share who they are and what grades their kids are in and where they go to school, and then we'll jump in with some of the questions. So Brooke, I don't know if you want to call on them. That may be easier, part of the process.
All right, Jenny, you're the first one I see on my screen. You want to unmute your mic, sister?
Sure. Hi, my name is Jenny Bench. I've had lots of kids in the school systems. Right now I have a senior at Nelson County High. I have a sixth grader at Bloomfield Middle, and I have a kindergartner at Cox's Creek Elementary.
Thank you, ma'am. Anna, you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Anna DeWitt. I'm a parent. I'm also a teacher with the Nelson County School System. I have two children. My son, Will, is in the middle school at Bloomfield Middle, and he's in 7th grade. And my daughter, Claire, is in the elementary school, and she is in the 5th grade.
Thank you much. All right, Misty. Let's see. Unmute your mic first there, sis. There you go.
Okay, I'm challenged this morning. My name is Misty Roller, and I have two kiddos in the Nelson County schools. They're both at Thomas Nelson. One's a freshman and one's a junior.
Awesome. Melanie, we are introducing ourselves right now. If you just want to let us know your name, kind of what your what school your kids are in, what have you. Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry, there I went. I'm Melanie Rogers. I have two kids at New Haven School. One is in 4th grade and one is in 1st grade. So
awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with us. We may have a few parents that kind of pop in and out of this discussion. So, Chase, I'll let you kick it off.
Yeah, we're figuring out the technology as we speak. We realize, like, when people don't have school email addresses, it makes things a little bit unique. So let's get started talking a little bit about this NTI process and some things that you guys are seeing or experiencing as parents. So one of the things that I try to be very conscious of is we know there's challenges, and we're going to get to those in a little bit. But before we dive into that, I wanted to take just a little bit of time for you guys to share maybe some things that you've really appreciated about this NTI time that is you otherwise maybe wouldn't have gotten had we not been in NTI learning for a while. So we don't really have an order. Whoever wants to jump in, just unmute your mic, and you can hop in and talk.
I would just like to share just enjoying this time with my kids, especially time that I wouldn't have otherwise had, but also the opportunity to really get into their schoolwork more and see what they're doing and spend more time on their interest and their passions has been a blessing during this time for me.
I've noticed, particularly with my son in middle school, his Care and Connect teacher has been phenomenal. Every morning he's encouraging the group of boys and encourage others, which I've really appreciated. He is genuinely concerned for their mental well-being. which has been great. And my kindergartner had just started speech literally a week before this mess started, and she contacts me every single week. I mean, he's in kindergarten, and I wasn't expecting that. So every week she either emails me and texts me or calls me to see if there's anything she can do. So I just think that's been amazing.
I think
I
it's
guess
been
I'll go next.
interesting for. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I guess it's been interesting for us to kind of learn a little bit more about what our kids are more interested in. We've got to read a whole lot more. We've got to kind of dig into more of their creative side. So that's been a little interesting for us. We are usually, like most people, a very busy family. We don't spend a whole lot of time home. So it's been fun and exciting for us to kind of figure out what was the best for our kids. And so that way, once we are back in school, we can take that and kind of go with it a little bit better too. So.
So I was just going to add that something that I appreciate about the NTI day is the structure. I really like the structure that we're on now. It kind of takes the pressure off of us parents to keep the kiddos on a routine, with them having to take attendance and be on the Google Meets in a timely manner every day consistently is really nice, and I really appreciate that.
Well, I have to pop in here real quick. You guys, I don't know if you can see this or you have this open, but you have quite the fan club out here in the comment section. We have lots of our teachers who are singing y'all's praises. Let's see. Tiffany Clark says, "Hi, Misty. It's been so long since I've seen you." We have Josh Bunch saying, "Jenny is my wife. She is so lucky." So Jenny, we will not hold that against you. I'm just kidding. Laura Arnold says, "Hi, Misty." Craig says, "Hello." Let's see. Melanie Amanda Noakes says, "Thank you for representing New Haven." Kara Hill said hi to you too, Melanie. Let's see. I'm just telling y'all got quite the panel. Steve Mahoney said the DeWitts. I can see him like doing some dancing out there for you too, Annie. So, or Anna, sorry. Anyway, just had to tell you guys, lots of support and fans out here in the live chat.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, we know that like obviously this is not been all what is the phrase, cupcakes and rainbows. That doesn't sound right, but I'll just say it. It's presented its fair share of challenges. So I've got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old that I've been trying to navigate with this process. So as you think about some of the challenges that you've been trying to sort through as parents with the NTI process, what are some things that have come to mind?
One of the biggest challenges for me has been balancing work with my kids, and their needs, and when they need assistance. But that's one thing that's been so great. I'm going to go back to one of the parents mentioned the structure about our NTI days is that the kids have those regular Google Meets where they're able to check in with their teachers and their peers. And also we've had great feedback when there have been moments where it's been a little stressful and I've been too busy. I've put that responsibility on my children to contact their teachers if they have questions or they're having issues. And shout outs to the teachers, Miss Rambo, Miss Yates at BES. I mean, they have always responded quickly and been there, especially for my daughter when she's had a question or needed some extra assistance. The instructional videos that they provide is also really helpful to me because again, I'm a second grade teacher, but I mean, my kids don't understand, especially my seventh grader. They think we know all of this stuff, and I start to help them, and they're like, "No, you're doing it wrong. That's not how we were taught to do it." So the fact that we have those resources available, for the kids to go back and look at, and has been really helpful.
I'll chime in and say I personally love the structure as well. I know parents in all of the schools. I have friends in literally with children in all the schools, and I know some the city schools are struggling a lot more. They're not really doing the Google Meets, and so my friends' kids are struggling quite a bit more, and I'm so incredibly thankful. My son is a self-starter, so that makes it easy. But he is out here every day, ready on the computer before 9. We're out here about 3 hours, and I get to sit with him. I've always worked from home, and my work is not really doing much right now. So the structure is really, really helpful. And we have regular Google Meets, even with the kindergarten teachers. So I like that also.
I think one of the biggest struggles for us was one of my kids, my first grader, has really struggled in reading and even a bit in math. So she was getting a lot of extra help at school. So the scary part for us coming into this was, what are we going to do? We have this kid that's already behind. And so now we have to try to keep her on track. And I send a simple message like, hey, what can I do? This is what we're struggling on. And all of a sudden, this new stuff appears through Class Dojo, through my email. They show up in my mailbox, whatever I need. And so we've been really thankful for all of our teachers and kind of helping to progress us along, even in this difficult time.
Yeah, I think for me, um, speaking as a parent, I think the balance has been a tricky thing to try to figure out because um, we do have work still happening, even though it doesn't look like traditional work. So trying to figure out that balance between what my kids need and what I need to be able to do. Um, I'm kind of a checklist person, so I started checklist with my boys, and they've kind of gotten into that, which helps us kind of say like, "Have you gotten these things done today?" Which that's been helpful for them and a good process. But I think that it continues to teach us like what is it that parents really do need from a school? What is it that schools need with parents? And I think that relationship is going to continue to flourish. Um, so I think for us in Nelson County schools, we've been talking a lot about the purpose of school, right? And we ask that question a lot because I think it helps us continue to think about what are we doing and why are we doing the things that we are doing for kids. And the purpose of school is an evolving question, right? If you'd asked us at the beginning of the year, hey, with the last however many weeks of school, every kid would be home and we'll be doing extended NTI, no one would have thought about that, but it obviously changes the way we have to think about school. So, as you think about kind of the purpose of school and some things that you're maybe learning about the purpose of school as a parent, um, what are some things maybe that come to mind around that question?
Well, I'll start because for this question, it's been really interesting for me. I have realized being at home with my own children how important project based learning is as both a parent and an educator. Um, I've seen, like, we were talking about earlier, just being home with our kids, we're learning more about their academic interest and, what really pushes them. So, um, my daughter, for example, she really enjoys learning about space and planets. So on her passion project, that's something that she's really taken the lead on. And because she's interested and eager to learn more about it and enjoys it. So as an educator, that's been great for me to see on this level because, it makes me understand how much more important it is that children are picking something that they're interested in learning about.
I see. uh, I am I'm not a terribly patient person, and I thrive on structure and checklists and things like that. And my sixth grader in particular is a completely different personality type than I am. And so when he was doing some work a few weeks ago, I was trying to give him suggestions on how to do it. and it ended up poorly for both of us, honestly. But we came to a conclusion that, wow, it was enlightening to me to realize how differently he learns than I do. And it was amazing to me that he has the opportunity to do that in a school setting. Whereas here I was trying to push him to do it my way because I felt it was the best way. And we did come to a compromise on that. And I frankly, I don't enjoy teaching my kids. I like that someone else does that because, you know, my kindergartner is learning how to read. And I don't know, I think I'm a pretty good mom, but teaching is very difficult. And so it's given me an even greater appreciation for the hard work that teachers do, because they're not teaching one or two kids, they're teaching an entire classroom and having to adjust to all of those different learning styles. And so I think it's given me a much greater appreciation for it. And I also am very set in my ways. And so having to learn how to do Google Meets and do things with my kindergarten, I much prefer a packet. I would take a packet 100 times over. And my kindergarten, he's just like me, and he does not enjoy doing the things online, but we both had to learn. And I think that's incredibly valuable. And I really appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Misty or Melanie, do you guys want to jump in on that? Those maybe some things you're learning about the purpose of school through this process.
Can you hear me? Okay. The purpose of school, you know, beyond education, I think it's teaching them the importance of routine. I mean, when they graduate school and they get out on their own, I mean, the structure that school provides them is crucial, and it's training them for you know, when they're an adult. And I think that the first 2 weeks that we had where we didn't have that structure, it was basically on the parents to provide that structure. And then that was hard, and it was hard to get them up. That was the biggest struggle I had, is getting my kids up. You know, they felt like they had all day to do their work, and um, I feel like school is more than just an education. It's social skills. They miss their social skills. And I've got two children that they enjoy being at home, but they're to the point where they miss their friends. And for me, it's just been a learning about it's more than just math and reading and science. It's about teaching them the just the routine, the structure, the importance of it, working independently. That's huge because I have high schoolers. I don't have to help them with their work. They don't need me because they're smart. Yeah, they do not need me to help them with math. But it's just they're learning that independency that is important.
I think part of it was the fact that one of my kids is self motivated and the fact that the other one is not. So figured out a way to kind of get them both going. My fourth grader, she wakes up, she feels like it's a competition. So if the teacher's like put the work out for the week, she feels like it's a competition to see how much she can get done. My first grader, who's also the one that struggles, she dreads it. She doesn't want to do it. We have to kind of go back to the reward status. So that's kind of helped us. But also, the social aspect has really been hard for my kids. My kids are social butterflies. That's their main complaint if they get in trouble at school, is because they talk too much and they miss their friends dearly. And they've actually started writing letters, which has been kind of cool to kind of take us back in time to when we were in grade school and stuff. So that's been kind of fun and interesting because they've expressed their feelings in these letters to their kids that they're going to mail out this week. So that's been kind of fun to do too.
I have to jump in on that too, because my kids have started doing the same thing. You know, and it was really funny. My daughter, who's 8, she was like, I may have said this already. I'm having deja vu, but she was like, "Okay, mommy, where does the address go?" Like she didn't even know how or where to address an envelope, and it was just so crazy to me to hear that. But that is definitely a good idea, and it's something that has really been fun for my kids as well in our house. Let me hop over here to the comments real quick. Kelsey Berryman made a comment that I thought was fun. She said the structure of school is important, kind of going back to what Misty was talking about. She said, a student told me yesterday, I took school for granted before this, and I can't believe how much I miss it. So interesting perspective there from her students. Kathy Walker, she loves reading with her kids on Google Meets. They pick any topic. I mean, who doesn't like? Can I get an invitation to Kathy Walker's reading on Google Meet? Like, who doesn't love this Kathy reading? Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm gonna need that. Go ahead and type in that invitation to brooke.whitlow@nelson.kosschools.us. Okay, Amber Irvin says it's amazing as a parent and teacher how many kids who typically complain about being school are the very first ones missing it right now. So, good comments happening out there. Good discussion.
Yeah, I think this idea of, so I have a preschooler, and today actually he'll have two Google Meets. So he'll have one with his class, and then he'll have one with they have compass leaders or something like that at the ELC, and he's in that. And I was talking to Miss Henderson, who's at the ELC yesterday, and we had a little principal connect, and she was talking about how her teachers just really like you. If you become a preschool teacher, you kind of did that because of the chaos, right? Of having like 20 something 4-year olds in a room, and the noise and the chaos, and like you're wired to really like that's what you enjoy. And how hard this has been for her teachers, like not being able to have a room full of kind of chaos happening. And so, like, when you get on these Google Meets, it is chaos, and they do such a great job of trying to facilitate that Google Meet. And then I have a 7-year-old in first grade, and I will agree, his teacher does one-on-one reading with him once a week. It's just a really powerful experience for them. So, very appreciative of the ways that schools are continuing to think about how that connection can occur. So, as we kind of end here, uh, one of the things that we do pretty routinely in Nelson County is share gratitude, and the rules of gratitude are fairly simple. It really just has to be a particular person, right? So you can't say I'm grateful for Bloomfield Middle School, or I'm grateful for all the teachers, right? It has to be something specific that you're grateful for. So as you think about some things that you've really appreciated about the NTI process, some people maybe that have been really helpful in the NTI process. I want to give you guys just a couple minutes to share some gratitude with some people in our school community.
So I mentioned my son's Care and Connect teacher, and his name is Daniel Newton. And like I said, he's been phenomenal. So I really appreciate him because my son is an introvert, and he's all about the being home and being able to play video games. But he misses it too. And Daniel's really, really taking time to love on these boys when they're at a difficult age. And so I really appreciate him. And Stephanie Hunt is the speech teacher who has been taking extra time to check on my kindergartner. And then Amelia Gant is my kindergartner's teacher, and she goes above and beyond also. So I appreciate all of those people.
I have a huge thank you to Miss Hash. Miss Hash has taught for several years now, and she is looking actually towards her retirement. I think in the future. But she has learned a whole new world of Google Classroom and online things. So I appreciate all of her hard work in learning new things. And then Kara Hill, Miss Crawl, they have both connected with my kids constantly. Miss Jamie West, Miss Salmons, Mr. Hines, all of them have been amazing. Anytime my kids need anything, my kids love to get on my dojo, and so they message them. The teachers pop right in, they're there for them. And then our lunch ladies across the district, these people, the amount of work and stuff that they have given, and the amount of work that they are doing and the things that they are providing for our kids are absolutely amazing. So shout out to all you lunch ladies and everybody that's keeping us rolling.
I would like to share gratitude with my daughter's teachers, Kendra Rambo and Emily Yates. Again, they've just been fantastic about responding quickly, providing that structure that my daughter needs, and giving her that, that feedback, providing the instructional videos, because my daughter has a more difficult time in math. So that's been a little difficult for me in trying to help her, but those, that extra support, that Miss Rambo has provided, has been really helpful during this time.
Well, I want to say thank you to David Mudd for inviting me to hop on here this morning. This is totally. I don't know if I can you hear me?
You're good. We can hear you.
I don't know if I'm okay. This is totally outside of my comfort zone to kind of be in the spotlight. So, but I couldn't say no because I'm constantly telling my kids you should step outside your comfort zone. And so I have to practice what I preach. So thank you, Mr. Mudd, for calling on me. And thank you to all the teachers for the extra work you're having to do. This is a learning experience for us all, including you. And I thank you for that.
We've learned that it's really hard to say no to David Mudd. He's, David's just such a great personality that when he asks you to do something, it's hard to tell the guy no. Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on this morning and participating in this as a parent. We know that as we think about the nature of community and what it means to be a community, that the role of parents is a huge piece to what we want to create in Nelson County Schools. So thank you guys so much for participating this morning. Our deepest gratitude to you all. Real quick, we've got a good show Thursday and Friday. Excited about that. If you've ever been to like an ed camp, you've seen demo slams, which are really a bunch of teachers in a room, like kind of showing you something that they're using or something that they're doing. So we're going to kind of model that over the next 2 days. One of the things you guys said was allowing people to see maybe some creative things that are going on with NTI work. So we have a teacher, I believe, from all of our schools that'll be able to show and demonstrate some ways that they're trying to engage kids in the learning process. So we're excited about that over the next couple of days. Brooke, anything else before we head off?
No, I just wanted to kind of echo Chase's gratitude sentiment to you guys too for being on there. Kathy Walker actually shared gratitude as well in the comments with our parent panel. And we have one of our board members too, Miss Diane Berry, is watching live, and she wanted to also share gratitude with our parents for adapting to this NTI learning experience. So thank you guys for tuning in with us today. And we are really excited, like Chase said, about the next 2 days for the Community Brew. So definitely tune in. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 8:30. Have a wonderful day, you guys.